Hey, 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 what's up, guys? Welcome to the Ace Michael Show. Beep, 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 beep. See, our budget is really low, so we got to make our own theme music. That's the theme music for this show. Anyway, it's the Ace Michael Show, man. If you ever want to be on the show, we'd love to have you. You know how it is. You can be on the show, be a guest, got something to say, get it off your chest by being a guest. That's how it works, man. This way you can speak your mind, voice your opinions, ideas, convictions, suggestions, beliefs, all that. Prophecies, whatnots, widgets. Say it. Get it out. That's what's up. That's that. You know, and someone said this once, and I disagreed when I first heard it. Someone said that communication is how you avoid violence. And I was like, what are you talking about? Because once you tell somebody you don't like them, they're going to be violence. But then I thought about what he was saying. I was like, you know what, though? He's right. Communication, if you have good communication, you probably will have less arguments, less reasons to fight, less drama. So our show is all about communication. So if you ever want to come on the show, please do. And that's what's up. Today, my guest on the show is Carmel. She is a music artist that I met in my travels through the world. I am so blessed to meet these wonderful people. Like I'm telling you, I meet the best people, the best people. And so she's one of them. Carmel, welcome to the show.
Hi.
So is this your first broadcast ever, or is this your first like crazy Ace Dude broadcast?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's easy. Start off by telling us a little bit about yourself. Now I know you do music, and I didn't know that when I met you. And then when I went to the profile, then that's when I got the big reveal. Like you're really into the music.
Yeah, I am. I play the piano. I play the flute. I'm a singer. I write lyrics, and I play the drums. It's beautiful. I love it. I love the drums. They're fucking awesome.
You're like virtually Prince over here. She's like, yeah, I play the drums, you know, and when I'm not playing the drums, I got a little xylophone thing that I do.
Yeah.
Sometimes, you know, I take a wooden spoon and get down with that. So none of those things are easy to play. Everything you said is hard to play. So you've been doing this for a while.
I have, and I have my favorites. You know, I could be better, more precise at some, but I'm really good at singing, and I'm really good at writing lyrics. And drums.
They also say sometimes you're your own worst critic too. You know what I mean? You could be too harsh on yourself.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, or not. You could suck, but you know. But either way, sometimes the fact that you're doing it is enough. So how long have you been doing each one? So you started with drums or you started with piano?
I just started with drums last year. Piano my whole life, also the flute and singing and writing. I remember being a teenager and writing. And I would always sing all kinds of music, a lot of, you know, bubblegum pop when I was younger. And then arias, opera types, just all kinds.
Who was your influence as a child, a music influence?
Mariah Carey.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
A virtuoso vocalist. Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
she's pretty phenomenal. Yeah. But the reason I reacted the way I did, because I had to think, like, I've been doing the show for about 7 years now, interviewing people. No one has ever said Mariah Carey was their musical influence, which is weird because Mariah Carey, you know, she's a songwriter. She's a great songwriter. Yeah. She's a great singer. She's a great performer. Like, I mean, she's the package. But it's interesting that I haven't heard anyone ever said Mariah Carey. And I love Mariah Carey. Why not? I ain't got no problem with Mimi. Well, bring it.
Yeah.
So Mariah Carey was an inspiration. Did you ever see yourself being like that type of singer? Did you see yourself like being a diva on stage?
So I knew, and I always wanted to write my whole life. And I do that. So I'm very happy.
And you live in Vegas. Did you ever go out and do shows in Vegas? Have you had a show? Did I miss it?
No. Okay, so I am really shy. So I really love to write and I really love to sing, but I like to do it in a studio.
Okay.
A lot of instrumental work too. So that's kind of my thing. I'm very shy. I wish I wasn't. I don't understand why I am. I love to sing and I love to do all these instruments, but then if I have to perform, I'm like, what the fuck did I sign myself up to, you know?
Right. But you know, there's a lot of people like Barbara Streisand, you know, she's one that doesn't like performance. She
Yeah.
just really doesn't. And there's a different type of writing and artistry in the studio than there is on the
Yeah.
stage.
Yeah.
Like I love the stage.
Yeah.
I take the studio as kind of a necessary evil. Like you gotta do the studio in order to get the song.
Yeah.
But I really don't love being holed up in a studio for 16 hours. I'd much prefer to be on the stage for 16 minutes. You
Okay.
know, that's me. See, everybody's got their thing.
Right. Because, I love it, but I don't like to be alone. And so it's really hard to find. I've tried for, a very long time. When you try to get a group together and when you're shy, it's really hard because
Oh,
no one's really on the same level as you. And
yeah.
you know what I mean? So,
Listen, I think putting a band together or any type of a group of artists, I think that's probably the most impossible thing to do. And the people who have done it, like if the Rolling Stones,
yeah.
God bless your heart. If you manage to find those 5 people who were willing to work together
Oh,
and get something done,
right?
that's impossible. Thank God you did. And I was just thinking today, you know, it's funny because I really love Paul McCartney.
Yeah.
I love Paul McCartney. He's a great singer. He's one of the most brilliant songwriters. So I was listening to Paul McCartney's album today, and I was thinking, you know, I bet a lot of people approached him in his career and were like, "Why don't you leave the Beatles, man, and join our band?" And I could just imagine Paul saying, "You know, no, I got a thing that's working here. I mean, you know, Jan and I don't get along sometimes, but when we do, you know, like we do write some damn good songs."
Oh, yeah, they do. Yeah.
You know, so I totally feel you there. Like putting a group together, oh God, no,
And
no,
yeah.
never that.
No,
Okay, so doing it on your own. So have people tried to push you to be like, hey, why don't you be, you know, the lead singer of our project and you do it in the studio as our chanteuse will make you into a star, darling.
I guess it's I've never been asked to do anything in those words. That's fucking funny though.
Never that. Not you could have like you could do like the whole strawberry blonde review thing. Like, you
I
know,
don't think that
nobody.
shit works. Honestly, it's really what I figured out. It's really not. It is mostly not talent that like gets you on that stage and in front
Mhm,
of people.
mhm.
It's just not to say that there's no talent people up there. There are, but it's like your network, and that shit is really hard to find for real. And you have to be different. You have to be very unique, and I don't know.
And I would say this, and you can tell me if you agree or not, but don't you think it takes like certain personalities too? Like some people are just show businessy people,
Yeah,
and
they
they're
are.
good with like, you know, like I was watching Will Smith one night. He was on this interview show, and they were asking him just to me, they were dumbass questions. It was like, come on, man, really? But Will, he was very accommodating and he was gracious and he was like
Yeah.
rolling with the punches. And some of the stuff they asked him to do was like kind of condescending, stupid stuff, and he did it anyway. And I was like, you know, I don't know if, and that's probably why I never made it like that. Cause I don't
Yeah.
know, man. Surely there's some days I'd be like, no, I'm not feeling this.
And that's me too. I'm like, I can't. What the hell? What is this? What am I doing? Yeah, for real. So, on,
She's probably like, this is one of those days right now. What am I talking to this guy at my kitchen for?
no, actually, this is great because it makes me not be so shy. For real, I love to talk to people. I just don't ever approach people.
Right,
So,
right.
yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely I think it's a preferred skill. If you're an outgoing, what do they call the introvert and the extrovert? I
Yeah.
think a lot of entertainers are extroverts, but some of the most brilliant people are also introverts. I think
Yeah.
it just comes down to how you want to display yourself. And now you wrote a song. You may remember when we first started talking, you had written a song you sent me a link to, and you're a great writer. I mean,
Thank you.
and maybe that's your way of doing your art. Maybe that's how you expel yourself. You do because your writing is bomb. You're a great writer,
Thank
you
you.
know. And I've never heard you sing, but and I'm not going to put you on. You don't have to sing on the show or anything.
Oh no, that song that you said listen to, that was me.
That was right. So then I have heard you sing,
Yeah.
but that was that studio demo.
Oh, okay. You mean
Okay,
mom. Okay, I
but
got you.
but it
Yeah.
was but it was great. So, what's your goal with the writing? Are you going to do more writing? Are you going to
Oh yeah.
put out an
Yeah.
album, another album, a
Okay.
third album?
No, this will be my first. So all these years I'm trying to do these songs. Okay. I'm working with people because even though I play instruments, I usually lay down the piano bed and the vocals, and then someone will add some other things to it. I work with people with such strange styles, and I'm like, that's just not my style. I don't know how to make that. And then I got these songs, and then they're like, you can't have 4 different styles of music on an album. You got to stick with one. So finally, I met a really great producer here, and I work with him, and I
Mm,
met him just a few months ago. So yeah, no, this will be my first album with him.
nice,
Yeah.
nice. I think a good producer lets you do your thing. I think a producer that's in your way, trying to make you into a certain sound,
Yes.
that's not really what you want. I think you want somebody to let you do you, right?
So yes, it's really good that you said that because when I was first starting out, they're like, "Well, who do you sound like? Um, who do you want to be? And can you sound like this?" And I'm like, "Well, why do you want me to sound like that? Why do you sound like somebody?
Right, right,
I already have that somebody, right?"
right.
And okay, and then sometimes my music would have a lot of harmonies in it, and they're like, "You can't sound like a group." I'm like, "Well, fuck, bitch, I can't find people to sing with me. I gotta sing them all." Okay, so that's how.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
So, in your own mind, what is your achievable sound? When I say that, what I say is like for me, I love Prince,
Yeah.
but I wouldn't want to sound like Prince, even though I love Prince. I'm not trying to be Prince. And I love Paul McCartney, like I said. So for me, the ideal album would be something where I feel like the writing is substantial, where people are going to get into the lyrics. I like songs where I can read the lyrics and get moved, even if I never heard the song, because the lyrics are that good. So for me, I'd want something where the writing is great, instrumentation I love. I love to hear flutes, I love to hear strings, I love to hear horn sections, I love to hear instruments doing instrument things, you know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of hip hop that leaves me dry because I go, well, this is a good song, but it's just a beat over and over and this guy yoing, you know what I mean? Which is cool for him, you know what I'm saying? But I wouldn't want an album like that, even though this is a great song, but I wouldn't want an album like that.
Right. Okay.
So
Okay.
in your dream vision, what is the album that you are hearing yourself? What styles are you?
I'm a mix of a lot of different styles. I really, really love spiritual. I love Christian music. Um,
Okay.
I'm not I'm not religious, but I love spiritual music. I
Yeah.
love soul. I love like fairies and angelic beings. I love things like that. And I love very pretty, powerful music. So
So there's something like that hasn't been heard before because I when you're talking, I mean, unless we're talking about like maybe Enya type of thing or something, like I haven't really heard an artist that sounds like what you're saying right now. Which
yeah,
is good. That's don't you think there's too much cookie cutter stuff going on in
yeah.
entertainment? Like,
Okay.
why do
Yeah.
you want to sound like everybody else? Like, come on, really?
Well, that's an inexperienced producer or artist because when I was first submitting things and the directors would like my music, they like my voice, and they would, or if I would work with another artist, they would say, yes, this person is fucking fantastic, right? Their talent is really good. They can sing their ass off, but they sound like everybody else.
Right.
So they want different and they want talent. And really that's what you got to go for, just like you said, not the cookie cutter stuff.
So I'm going to ask you a question. Now, before you answer, think about this because this
Okay.
sounds like it's a simple answer, but it's not. It's a very
Okay.
deep question if you think about it.
Okay.
So, what is Carmel's best song in your opinion, and why?
Oh, wow. I don't know what my best song is. Every time I write one, it keeps changing.
So what's the most newest best song?
um, I really like the song I sent you. I think it's called Waiting. I really like that one. I like the instrumentation. It's simple, it's pretty. It has flute and it has strings, and it's not it's not too busy. So
Hmm.
that one so far is my favorite as far as production as well.
And what is it about that song that you say, you know what, this is some of my best work right here?
Wow, you put me on the spot. Nobody's ever asked me that before.
But see, that's what I do. That's
Right? Okay,
that's
hang
what I
on.
got
I'm about to
to
pull up my
That's
book
what I
right here
do.
with the lyrics to the song. Make sure I'm fucking giving the right name. Okay. Okay. All right. So I was asked to write a song um, that was for someone maybe in the military that was gone, someone deployed.
Okay.
And so I made it where it was not specific to just the military,
Hmm.
but where it was they're waiting for a loved one to come back. And so everybody knows that feeling. I write everything that I feel and the things that I experience. And I also know that if people do read my lyrics, and they listen to my voice, they can understand what I'm saying. And they probably have felt everything that I write.
Hmm.
Humans are very deep and we all feel. So that one was wonderful too. Also, I am a veteran, so I kind of get it. I've had many different strange jobs and great jobs, and so I
And
think
so that brings up an interesting question, Carmel. So you wrote that song, and because you're a veteran, you have some personal experience with that song. Now, do you often write from your own personal experience, or are you a writer who could just take a scenario, say, give me an hour, and I'll have a song written for that?
so when there's a scenario, I I feel like I can relate to it in every way because it's really the feeling. It's not necessarily just a situation. So even though I haven't experienced something, I can probably feel what that person is feeling in that experience. And so I do go with my heart on that.
On a spiritual level, do you think like you might be an empath? Do you often feel like you can feel what other people are going through?
And I do. And I'm surprised that you said that because that's why I get anxious around crowds. I can feel
Mm-hmm.
hard. It almost hurts sometimes. So I stay at home a lot, or when I do go out, it's just to the store. So
Mm-hmm.
I have gone out with my girlfriends, and that shit is fucking crazy, especially like a nightclub.
Mm-hmm. Because you're getting a lot, and then that brings us to this turmoil that's going on now. It would seem like you're picking up a lot of different energies. I mean, people are really twisted right now. Like twisted is not the best word, because that kind of sounds like they're evil geniuses. But again,
Not
trust me,
everybody is a
they,
genius.
number one, they ain't evil, nor they are is a genius.
Yeah,
Okay, let's get that out of the way right off the bat.
yeah.
But no, there's a lot of people going through a lot right now, and I think it's I think it comes down to relationships that haven't been resolved. That's the way I'm going to put it. Like if you were in a relationship and someone cheated on you, and instead of talking about it and working through it, or leaving the relationship, you just pushed it under the rug, and it just kept getting pushed on the rug, pushing the rug, pushing the rug, then eventually it's going to come to a head. And that is what I feel is going on with the racism in America. And this, everybody's got a conspiracy theory, and everybody feels like they're getting done wrong, and blah blah. And it goes back to, well, you know what? First off, and this is Ace Michaels talking, by the way. This is Ace's thing, right? First off, if you would go ahead, government, and explain what happened to JFK, really,
Mhm.
then we would probably be a little bit more trusting when you tell us to wear a mask in public. Like we just, I know the two things have nothing to do with each other, but
They
we're
do.
still kind of chaffed about that JFK thing and the 911 thing. And like, you got a lot of splaining to do. You know?
No, yeah. You'll never get the truth from the government. It's a very, very small number of people in the key positions of power that do this. And so
Right.
when you say they're not connected, they all are. All of
Well,
them.
I mean, not to go deep there, but it is
Yeah.
my show and I can if I want to. But wouldn't you say that everything is interconnected? I mean, everything.
Okay.
We are all a part of this living, breathing thing.
Yeah.
And as an artist, I'm sure you've had to deal with the question of how much of your real life do you want to put in your art? Like, do you want people to know you or artist you?
Yeah. I guess it depends. You're right. That's a good question. I don't know. I don't think that anybody truly understands even themselves enough to put all of you out there because you don't even know all of you. So,
Right. And even if you do, and you already said you don't, but even if you do, you're changing every day. I mean, everything that happens changes you a little bit
yeah.
and changes who you are a little bit. So how could you really know yourself, from day in and day out?
Yeah. You know how you know yourself? Your interaction with other people. That's how you get to know who you are. So
Interesting.
the less interaction you have, the less you know about yourself and the less you have to work on because you learn by the mistakes you make and you learn how the other people react. So the social distancing and the face mask, and everything is keeping people apart. So
Mhm.
you're not going to learn anything with that.
Well, let me throw this at you. Now, I am nobody's biblical scholar, okay? So
Okay.
please, please, please don't think I'm trying to say what I'm trying to say. But here's my thought was there's a story in the Bible about the Tower of Babel.
Sure, yeah.
And the Tower of Babel, with this tower was made, and people were thinking they could get in this they could climb this tower and reach heaven, right? And according to the story, God said, wait. You guys aren't all going to get together. Put your little minds together. Your little human minds are not going to figure out how to come up here into heaven. That ain't going to happen. So God destroyed the tower. Okay. Well, I think whether that story is true or not, I think that you learn a lot from gathering with other people.
Yeah.
And I think that there is something to be said why in 2020 we had to social distance. I understand that we had a virus. I think it's a real virus. I'm beginning to believe that it wasn't such a threat as it was made out to be, but there was a reason that they needed to separate the people for a while. Because maybe with the internet, people were getting too chatty, too close to the real thing, and they needed to break it up a bit. Just a 100% conspiracy theory. But what are your thoughts on that?
I don't think that it is real. I think
Oh,
that
you don't?
no.
You think it's not real at all? Like it's a made up, the whole thing? You don't? Do you think nobody's even getting a virus?
I just don't think that the numbers are accurate. And I do a lot of reading and I do a lot of research, but they're all off mainstream media. You have to be very careful with mainstream media. They all are they're owned by these the small number of people, the 1%. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And when you start going off mainstream media and you do alternative sources, you'll have people call you a conspiracy theorist. But in fact, there's misinformation in everything. You just got to continue to do research,
Mm-hmm.
use your intuition, and look at the world and look at the cause and effect and just see really what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
So with the COVID thing, I I believe it's just another way to keep people in fear, and it's working. And
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of contradictions with it. They say you're going to wear a face mask or you're not going to wear a face mask. You can social distance and or you can't. So you have the social distancing and the mask, but as long as you're protesting something, then you don't have to social distance, you know, I don't know, you wear a mask or not. It's all fucking bizarre.
Right. The rules don't really make much sense. You know,
No, it fucking doesn't, you know?
you're right. The rules are definitely curious. It's like, well, you can get together with like 5 people.
Yeah.
Well, what's 5 people? If you get together with 5 people and one of them's got the virus, then all 5 people got the virus. So what's the point of getting together with 5 people? You know, it's like that doesn't really make sense. And it's only when it's convenient for you. When it's convenient,
No.
you guys can come to my rally, or you guys can this, you guys that. But other than that, social distance and blah blah blah. So I agree with you there. Now here's a question though. This is the key question. So let's say that it's a big lie.
Yeah.
Why is somebody, what's behind the lie? What are we trying to gain? Because they got all the money, they got us working like slaves, they get money from our taxes. So what are we hiding, or what are we, you know, what's the big to do?
Psychopaths. How do you understand the mind of a psychopath? So once you understand that, you know, and people like us, we can't understand how that works because we don't think like that. We don't have that mind. We aren't sick like that. And it's beyond money. It's beyond money. It's control, and it's evil, you know? But yeah.
Now, would you ever write a song about it, or is that something that, like, do you have off limits things that you say, you know,
No, actually, I don't have anything off limits. There's some things that I just can't do. I was asked to write a song a week ago, and I was like, fuck, I can't write that. It was about, I want you to write about being famous and having things. And I was like, I really don't know how to write. I don't have that experience. I don't know how to write that.
You're like,
yes.
Well, make me famous and give me some things. And then
I was like, so, I mean, the only limit is something maybe that I don't understand, but yeah.
Right. That is what's up. Hey man, great show today. We always run out of time. We start having a good time and then run out of time. So if we want to stalk you on the internet, how do we find you? How do we become fans? How do we stay followers? What do we need to do?
Oh, well, I don't do too much on Facebook, but it's Carmel Alexus with a U. And you can, but then you'll see I'm not very busy or active on it, but I mean, I don't even, I have some songs on YouTube that I never tell anybody about, honestly. So I don't even have any links on my Facebook, but I sent you one. And if you go with that link, that's where I put up all of my songs.
That was a good sin. So that was good. That's good stuff.
Yeah.
All right, man. It's the Ace Michael Show. Hey, my guest today, Carmel Alexus. What a fabulous conversation we had today. And if you want to follow her, good luck on Facebook. She's already told you you're not going to find much there. You probably won't find her there that often. But hey, maybe you're that 1 in a million who can trail her that way. And you know what I say at the end of every show? Live the life you love. Love the life you live. Thank you.
Thank you.